When you have the ball, make the pitch big. Without it, make the pitch small. The words of the great Johan Cruyff. As formations, 4-3-3 and 3-4-3 work best for a total football tactic as they can become very fluid. My aim was to create a 3-4-3 tactic, but I ended up with a 3-3-3-1 or a 3-6-1 tactic. Not bad. In goal, we have sweeper keeper on defend, no player instructions. The back three is made of two wide center backs on defend and on support, and the libero on support. In case you feel the center backs are too attacking, change one to a center defender role. All three have tackle harder as instructions. A halfback links the defense and the midfield, no instructions for him. A box-to-box midfielder and a roaming playmaker make the creative duo. The box-to-box midfielder has get further forward instructions. The front four is made of two inverted wingers on support, a shadow striker and a false nine. All four have as instructions roam from position and tackle harder. If you have a tall and strong striker, you could change the false 9 to a target forward on support. A total football tactic requires the players to be in constant movement and to interchange positions when possible. To this, the roaming instructions come into play. Defensively, even though the four roles are more creative than others, you need to ensure structural stability. Hey, quick one! This is my invitation for you to join our Discord server. Lately, I have noticed comments requesting support on tactics for different scenarios, and I would love to be able to talk to you more about it. So, feel free to join the kingdom. Link is in the description. Great, let's get back to our tactic. The mentality is set on positive, but you can change it according to the team you are managing in your save. In possession, we have play out of defense, shorter passing and higher tempo, run and defense, and be more expressive. Total football also refers to playing the space left open by the opposition. Be more expressive will enable the creative players to play freely, which in turn should help exploiting space behind. In transition, counter press, as the tactic is reliant on pressing the opposition and recovering the ball as fast as possible. Counter, distribute quickly to the center backs and roll it out. Out of possession, high press and a higher defensive line. A standard defensive line works as well if your team would not dominate most of the opposing teams. Trigger the press much more often and get stuck in. The tactic itself is thought to be fluid in attack and robust in defense. However, it is all done by the players in your team after all. If you don't have the best caliber of players, you will struggle to make the tactic work. This is why you need to look for these attributes when establishing your team. Work rate, teamwork, positioning, concentration and stamina should be high for your defensive-minded players. Work rate and teamwork refer to how the players interpret and adopt your instructions and work for the team. Positioning is the attribute that helps the players be in the best position when defending, concentration helps them focus on event-by-event basis, and stamina helps them sustain a more intense physical activity for longer periods of time. The more creative or attacking players must have high passing, technique, vision of the ball and flair besides work rate, teamwork, concentration and stamina. These attributes influence how well they can spot and execute a pass, while these ones influence their movement of the ball and their unpredictability. Now, all the attributes I have mentioned are relative to the team you manage in your save, the league, the budgets and so on. You need to make sure that you pay close attention to these details. I have tested the tactic with both Ajax and Dynamo Dresden. With Dynamo Dresden, I have started to implement and tweak it until I got the final version. I was in the German 3rd division with Dynamo Dresden at the time, and we were the best team in the league. I have used the tactic in 7 games at the end of the season, and as you can see from the results, we were quite dominant. However, when I moved to a higher division, the tactic kind of crumbled. And this takes me back to the level of the team you are managing, as it is nice to recreate a tactic and make it work in the game. However, the level you play at does influence the tactical freedom you have. In the simulation I have done with Ajax, they ended up as expected. If you take out Feyenoord, who had a great season, the gap between Ajax and the rest of the teams was quite big. In terms of team stats, Ajax have scored 2.53 goals per game and conceded 29, which results in 0.85 goals per game. As for player stats, the one that caught my attention was how many goals Dusan Tadic has scored from an inverted winger on support position. 11 goals in 33 games playing in this position. As seen, the tactic can be very fluid, very creative, and I can say, very fun to play with. It can also punish you if you don't change it accordingly. In the end, recreating tactics is a matter of adapting the style to the opposition and to what the match engine can do, and this tactic can bring results in the game.